Hello, just a quick update from me today. I've been spending some more time working on the wind simulator. Obviously you saw my prototyping video last time round. Nothing has changed there, we're still sort of in the same place with the prototyping. What I've been spending some time doing this last week is working on airflow dynamics, I guess. I don't want to call it aerodynamics because that's something slightly different, but it's airflow dynamics. So yeah, we've you saw my fan last time round, and here we have an exhaust port coming from the back of the fan. This is I'll just put this design together real quickly in Fusion 360. It's like a reduction port, so it reduces the 116 mil output down to 3 inches. 3 inches is pretty much like a standard for kind of automotive cold feed induction intakes and things like that. And so there's plenty of hosing kits and things like that we can attach to this. Obviously, I'm not going to go and make any of those myself. So there's plenty of hosing kits that we can use that'll serve the purpose for that. So yes, so the first thing we have here is this, which is the exhaust adapter, if you like. And then on the front, so obviously we have, I say obviously, maybe it's not obvious, but the fan is completely exposed on the front side of the fan, if you like. So obviously this is no good. We can't just have a fan spinning at 3000 RPM. So I've been having a play with fan grills. I've gone through a few design iterations. This is the first one that I came up with. Quite a simple one, really. Just a hexagonal, repeated hexagonal pattern, and designed that in Fusion 360. Printed it out as a test print prototype. Looks great. Doesn't work very well. Interesting. So let me just spin this fan up. It's currently running at 7. I have no idea what 7 is, but it's I guess it's 7%. So I'm going to spin it up to 100%. So this is a fan now running at full speed. You can see, again, quite a decent amount of output from the fan. So yes, I printed this out. I've attached it to the front of the fan. Let's see if you can hear this. If you can hear it over the fan. It's not very loud. So then when we put the grill on, suddenly we have a buzzing, which is no good. Obviously, we can't have fans being, they're not perfectly quiet or whisper quiet, but they're pretty quiet at full speed. But when you put the fan on there, the grill on there, it's creating a bunch of noise. Yes, it protects my fingers, but it's absolutely no good. I can't have fans buzzing. So that was design number 1, no good. Throw that one away. Came up with a second design. So this was my second design iteration, slightly different. Obviously, same hexagonal pattern, better fit. The hexagons are now buttering up to each other quite nicely. Much less material in front of the fan, so I thought we'd give this one a go. We'll put that one on there. Slightly less buzzing, but more buzzing nonetheless. And also, actually, this print it's a little bit too flexible. It's quite hard to see, but it flexes quite a lot. There's not enough material in there, so that one was closer, slightly better, no good. So we got rid of that one. Now, this is my third iteration of this, which was a concentric design. I thought, fans rotate. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that you have a hexagonal pattern that's kind of sitting, right angles or different angles to the rotation of the fan and the airflow. So maybe a concentric circular pattern, which, funnily enough, creates even more noise. That's probably something slightly to do with the fact that these strakes here are probably too thick. But that was the first pattern that I came up with, which I wasn't happy with that at all. Just too much noise, and also creates buzzing. So you get a wind noise and a buzzing with this one, so no good. Probably the metal grills are fine because they're the profile is just like a circular tubular profile. These are obviously 3D printed, so they're flat, so that probably doesn't help. So how can we combat this? I came up with, did a little bit of digging. Sorry, let me just quickly go and pull my one of my test grills, my second test grill. So I did a little bit of digging on the internet. I don't know much about airflow dynamics, and I found that what could get rid of the buzzing is this spacer, if you like. So it's literally just a spacing panel, exactly the same dimensions as the fan. What happens if we put that in front of the fan, like this, and then put this, well, there we go. Almost no buzzing. Slight amount of buzzing. Like very, very, only just about here. See, I'm not sure if you can hear it. So what it does do is it reduces the air noise, but it does introduce this tiny, tiny amount of buzzing. Now, like I don't have a sound meter, so I could not tell you how many decibels it's producing, but I would suggest it's almost about the same. The fact that this shroud or this spacer actually reduces the sound of the air being sucked in. It also introduces a little bit of buzzing when we put the grill in front. So I'm actually quite happy with this. It's a really good start, really good progress. So we've progressed to this single piece here. So this is my most recent design, which is an all-in-one. We have like the divider and the grill built in, and it's the same hexagonal pattern, thicker, so it's much more, a bit more material in there, much less flexible, much more rigid. And when we attach this to the fan, no buzzing. So I could just go with the metal grills that you could buy on Amazon for £5 for 10 or whatever it is. I think they look a bit naff. So obviously this is my prototyping material. It's white. The final product won't be white. It'll be black, or something else perhaps. But this is what I'm going to go with. I'm happy with this. It protects your fingers from the fan. It reduces the amount of air noise, and has a tiny, tiny amount of buzzing. Now, maybe I can refine this more. Maybe I can do something slightly better with the profile of the hexagonal design. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we'll wait and see. So, for right now, where I was at with the buzzing grills, to no buzzing grills. Let's try not to kill the fan. There we go. Progress. It's really, really good. Now, I've not finished there. So this is the exhaust port that I mentioned before, which reduces the output down to a 3-inch standard size, and you can attach your hoses and then direct the hoses into your face. Should that be what you want to do? There's another way that you can go with these fans though, and that is to have these blowing directly onto your face like this. Now that's all very well. This is quite actually the air output from here is really good. Here it's really pretty decent. But it doesn't look very good. And actually, there's something better that we can do with this. I would like to, or I've started exploring, accelerating the air coming out of these fans, which you can do. You can use, and now this is where aircraft design comes in. So yes, there is. I was doing some research on the internet about ways in which we can accelerate it, and what you'll probably tend to find is that a lot of people opt for like I want to say it's almost like a jet engine design, where we have like a conical piece sitting in the middle and some strakes coming off the side, and like an aerofoil sort of shape, and that looks okay, but I think it looks a bit old school. It doesn't look very modern, and I actually also think that it's not a very optimized design. So I was doing some searching on the internet, and I found that there is a company called Noctua who make fans, who also sell a device, which is this device here. So they sell this device here, which is an air accelerator, or what's it called, an airflow amplifier. Now, I've been reading the reviews about this, and the reviews are fantastic. Everybody says it makes a massive difference. The airflow is more directed. It like creates jets of air that come out the end. Here we go, something like this. I also found that Noctua provide a STL file for you to print your own, and so here it is. This is Noctua's what's it called? NVAA1-12 airflow amplifier. And you can print this for yourself. Aren't they good? Noctua, brilliant. Unfortunately, the license on this file means that you cannot resell this product basically as yours. Yeah, I suppose technically you could charge people for a 3D printing service and bundle it along, but it's kind of also cheating. So what did I decide to do? I decided to dissect their design and see if I could come up with my own. Now, and I have. Here we are. This is Fusion 360. Here is my own design. It is very, very similar, although it is also quite different in that the Noctua design here has these elements that are kind of V-shaped, and they're quite vertical and they're offset, so the back of the V is slightly shorter than the front of the V, so it creates this kind of like, you know, the inverse to the other side of that is like this aerofoil shape here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So my design is slightly different. It is much more rounded. It's much more kind of like a standard shape between the front and the back, but on the underneath you also get a similar kind of aerofoil outcome here, which is something that I'm super keen on testing out, seeing how well this works out. So the good thing is as well is I can sell this as part of my Wind Simulator product, which I'm really happy about. It took me a few hours to figure out how Noctua had put this together, but I figured it out in the end. I have this design currently printing on my 3D printer, and I will give you an update and let you know how it goes. In fact, I might just stitch it onto the end of this video and give you a little demo of what this output looks like with this, hopefully, airflow accelerator stuck to the back of it, because this is quite a broad output. It's not very directed and it's quite noisy, and I'm hoping this will clean the air up a little bit and produce a much better kind of accelerated air. So yeah, so there we go. This is what I have been working on. I still don't know much about airflow dynamics, but I'm learning, and it's really interesting. This is the first time I've ever had to do anything with moving parts in any of my projects. You know, all of my items up until now have been RPM gauges and flag boxes and stream deck enclosures and things like that. Nothing that has moving parts, things that do have electronics, but nothing as kind of complex as this. So yeah, really interesting project. And yeah, I'll update on progress. As I say, I'll maybe stitch the airflow accelerator outcome on the end of this video, and we'll see how we get on. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you very much. And Piggy says thank you for watching and see you next time. Hello again. So yeah, as promised just a few seconds ago, at least on my video, I would give you an update on the airflow accelerator. So the airflow accelerator, here it is. The print's just finished 10 or so minutes ago. I have to say, I'm really happy with this. It printed perfectly first time, almost no issues. The print was perfect. The design potentially having a little bit of an issue here with the support trees, so perhaps I can do something slightly better with the supports here, right on these very bottom edges of the strakes. But other than that, it came out perfect, which I'm super happy about. Does it work? Yes, it does work. I am happy to announce that it does in fact work. Obviously, you're not going to be able to tell too much from this video that it does work. Just have to take my word for it, but it does. So what I'll do is I'll get I'll rig up a little visualization tool so that you can see the airflow that's being produced out back of this fan, and I'll show you what it looks like with this accelerator or this airflow amplifier on and off, and you can decide for yourself. However, if I ramp this fan up to 100%, so that's it, 100% now, spinning away. I attach, let me see if I can do this with one hand, probably not. I can attach the amplifier on the front here. So it does make it quieter. Woohoo! And also much more directed. There's like jets of air rather than just a big big load of buffeted air, if you like, and you can just feel the difference. It's much like not night and day, but it's significantly better. So it's quieter, and it also feels like it's stronger. So yeah, I'll rig something up here with some cotton or some wool on it, so that you can see the difference between the air being produced out of these two different types of output. But yeah, it's really good, and I'm really happy. So I mean, it doesn't end here. This is just the very start of this testing, but it's an interesting looking piece of kit, isn't it? I'm not sure, you know, that's the fan in the middle, and the grill on the back, and the amplifier or the accelerator on the front. Interesting design. The way that I've actually designed it in Fusion 360, I can make this shorter, so there's much less height here. I can make this shorter. I can make these airflow channels wider or narrower, depending on what I want. Cross make this thicker. There's only just there's a 1 mil here, so there's a little bit flex. It doesn't really matter that much because it doesn't. Whoa, there it is. It just needs to direct air, so it doesn't actually matter that it's not particularly thick. I suppose I do want to make it robust though, so potentially I might look at increasing the thickness here to 2 mil or 1.5 mil. I don't think it will sort of impact the airflow that much. So yeah, there we go. There's the update on that. Super happy with that. Much better than kind of buying. You can buy standard attachments to here, but they all look a bit, I don't know, they all look a bit standard and a bit boring. And this looks, I think this looks way cooler. So yeah, there we go. Great success. Thank you, isn't it nice? Yeah, maybe I'll definitely give you an update on this, because I quite enjoy making these videos and boring people's heads off with electronics and stuff. Oh, one thing I didn't mention in my last video actually, which again I'm super happy with. I've learned how to design PCBs in Fusion 360. Let me just quickly, I'll give you a very quick demonstrazione of so I have a PCB that I put together for this. Obviously it's going to replace my breadboard, and I can't run 12 volts 2 amps through this breadboard, so it's going to allow me to sort of finish building the whole product together. So I'll put together a PCB in Fusion 360. Yep, it looks like this. It's got 2 fan headers, this terminating power block, and Arduino Pro Micro pinouts, and this is the box that I have designed for it. So yeah, super chuffed with that. Those they're manufactured, they're on their way. I'm expecting them in the next couple of days, so as soon as they arrive, I will order the rest of the components, and then I'll start putting together the very first version of this product, which watch this space. It's going to be super interesting. Yeah, that's a lot. Thank you very much. See you next time. Cheers. Bye.